Today on the show, it's Legion, Episode 2, Chapter 2, all this and more on What the Hell Did We Just Watch? Welcome to another episode of What the Hell Did We Just Watch? I am your host, Lumotional Lou. Yay! How's it going out there on this Monday? I know it's mundane, not Monday, it's mundane. But the best part about Monday is the fact that we are back again to talk about Legion. Yay! It's episode 2. Chapter 2, that's what it is. I keep forgetting that they don't have the names of titles for their episodes. It's just Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, etc., etc. So I'm getting a little confused. So it's Legion, Episode 2, Chapter 2. Okay, we're going to get used to this. But we're watching this on an episodic basis. And I want everybody that listens to kind of like just take this journey with me as we're learning about Legion and what it unfolds. This is not a show where you get to do conspiracy theories and theories of what you think the show is going to be like and do and all these things. This is a show that's going to that kind of like just be informative. We're only going to go as far as what we know. But also, at the end of every episode, we're going to talk about what we don't know. But we're never really going to go with what we think will happen. I'm trying to this is how we watch. This is how I watch TV shows. And I want people kind of like out there to kind of like, you know, if you're a part of this kind of like bandwagon where you watch TV shows like this, like I do, then I want, you know, just spread this movie awareness or this movie watching TV awareness, I should say, this TV awareness on how episodic TV shows should be enjoyed, or at least tried to be enjoyed. You know what I mean? Just, you know, it ruins the experience when all you do is come out with conspiracy theories and what we think is going to happen or predicting what's going to happen. No, man, let's just go with what is going on now. Okay? So now with all my yammering is done, let's go into it, you know what I mean, for the Legion episode, the second part, and let's just go right into it. Legion, episode 2, chapter 2. What we know. Okay, so what we know now from episode 1 and 2 is that now we know what happened at the facility for what happened at the end of episode 1. We know that the enemy is called Division 3. We know that the main henchman, or at least one of the main henchmen, is called, his name is The Eye. He goes by the name The Eye. We know now that he's been taken to this facility, this new place, which is called Summerland, we are being told in here that by Melanie, that David's powers, or I should say his mental illness, come from his powers of not being able to control it. Now, we could stop right there for a second. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm hoping that it's not true. Because if you know the character, it just didn't sit well with me. Because if you know the character, he is a paranoid schizophrenic. That's what makes his character blossom so much in the comic books. So for them to take that away from him, or at least to our knowledge, that it has been taken away from him, that his problems are coming from his powers and not a supposed mental illness that he has been made to believe that he has. You know, let's see how it unfolds. We don't know exactly, but I'm telling you, as I heard this, and we're made to believe that his powers is what's giving him his, you know, quote unquote mental illness. For me, at this very moment, I don't think that it sits well with me. I actually don't like that. Like I said, I just like the fact that he literally is sick. And then I think it makes him a much more interesting character and not cliched. Like, because he wasn't a cliche. And now we're meant to believe now in this state, he is a cliche. We also know that Aubrey Plaza's character, I'm sorry that I keep forgetting her name. I keep forgetting to look it up and write it down, but I'm going on the fly here. I like to work off memory. She actually is in the episode so far, and just like I predicted in the first episode of Legion when we started discussing about Legion, I had a feeling that she was dead and that she will be working off memory. And so she'll be invading David Haller's memories or his dreams, you know. And we also know, which kind of made me sad, but it was inevitable, Aubrey Plaza's character is dead. What happened in the facility was not a dream. And we found out that, not found out, we got a little bit more information about Sid's character and what happened to her when they switched places, because it was kind of like at the end of the first episode, we're meant to believe that, you know, did this really happen? Is that a dream? Like, what's going on? But now we know that it was actually real, that it really did happen, and they did switch places. And then also, because one of the questions that I had in the last episode is, how the hell is he himself now? You know, I had this theory, like, what, did it wear off? Is that what it is? That's the question that I had in my mind, you know, and now we know that her powers is temporary. She can switch into another person's body. That's why she doesn't like touching anyone. And and that the other thing is that her powers are temporary. So she will eventually go back into her body, and, you know, as David Haller went into his body eventually. That's why, you know, it happened the way that it happened. So we know that her being inside David's body, she accidentally kills a whole bunch of people in the facility. And I'm saying by accident because she didn't know how to control that power. She didn't understand what was wrong with David, and her being inside David is what kind of made her feel sympathetic for him. This is what we're getting. And actually she has what I believe so far to be is genuine feelings for David. And I like that dynamic that they're going with that. I think that's pretty fucking cool. One of the things that I do like is that he is trying to get his memories back, or at least they're helping him kind of like find the clues of his repressed memories to try to like, I guess, be more stable and things like that, to try to help him have better control of his powers. And I like that dynamic too, because they're doing it in such an awesome way. It's kind of therapeutic. One of the things that I really like how they're trying to do is therapy is that we got this new character, and I'm gonna butcher his name, but it starts with a P, and his mutant power is that he kind of go into your mind and kind of like go into your dreams and trying to help you see their dreams. I love how he can actually look at it and replay it like a movie, go forwards, backwards. He can actually see what a person does in their mind and him kind of like question it, like how there was something that was blocked in David's memory that kind of skips. And I remember seeing it in the beginning of the episode, and I was like, what the hell is that? I thought it was the DVR. I thought it had glitched or something. And then I realized that when they go back to it, which I thought was very cool, is that they started talking about it. He was like, what happened there? It was something that I wanted to ask you before, but I didn't get a chance to. And I thought that was phenomenal. Episode 2's direction and storytelling is still pretty fucking amazing. There was this one scene where I thought it was very fucking awesome, where they were telling him how to kind of like control his powers, and Melanie was telling him, is like, just focus on that one voice that's calling your name in the distance, kind of like turn down the volume of the world and then just focus on that one name. And I thought that was cool, because what they did, as she said that, you see David in front of a huge volume knob, and he starts flipping it, kind of like turning it down. And I thought that was really cool. I love that kind of stuff. I'm getting a kick out of it. I just love it when a film is made that way, and also in TV when they take risks on how they want to tell the story. You know, there's a difference. There's a way to tell this story, and you can tell it in so many different ways. But when you want to tell it in a very different way, where your metaphors are where you want to show your metaphors in a literal sense, where it's like, turn down the volume. Everybody's heard that. Like, turn down the volume, you know, in your mind. And then we literally see him do that. And I thought that was amazing. I think that's great storytelling. That's a great way to tell a story. So I'm a big fan of the way the film is being made. We know that David's sister has now, because he had disappeared again, and now she's looking for him. And now she's being made to believe that she is like crazy, because she went to Clockworks, and they're telling her that they don't know who David is, who the doctor that was working with David, that she remembers she was working with David for 2 years. How do you not know that? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So this is really cool, fantastic stuff. Really cool, fantastic ways, you know, like to answer some questions and then bring in some new questions. So I'm very excited about where episode 3 is going to go. But when it comes to that, now what we don't know, we get to see memories of David being a child, being told a story from his father. Now his father doesn't have a face. You know, that's the cool part. So his father's a mystery in his memories. He doesn't remember it because even questions like, why can't I see his face? And he was like, that's up to you. They told him that's up to you. Like, he's the one that, you know, when you want to know, you'll know. Basically, it's like once your memory tells you like that you want to do that, you do that. We know that his father is an astronomer. That's one thing that we do know. You know, that's one thing that David knows by his memories. Who is the man with the yellow eyes? Because this one goes like this bridges with why I didn't like that Melanie told him that his mental illness comes from his powers and he doesn't really have one. So then ask me this. Why does the man with the yellow eyes seem so real to him? He's having visions of something. You know what I mean? So where's that? So, because if his mental illness is not real, then how is this person real for him? He keeps coming. He was told that his mental illness is coming from his powers, but yet he's still being not manipulated, but haunted by this character with yellow eyes. It's fucking freaky. I love the fucking makeup and costume that they gave that guy. So the real question is what Melanie, because the thing is, this is one thing I want people to realize. He was told by doctors that he has a mental illness. You believe what your doctors tell you. Makes sense. Now he's being told by someone else that his powers is what's making his mental illness. That he is making all that up, that he was lied to, so to speak. So he's being told by 2 different people that he has a mental illness and someone else that saying that he doesn't have one. So basically with me, when it comes to this character, the only way that we're going to believe which one is true is when he comes to terms with what is true. You know what I mean? I'm choosing to not believe that he has a mental illness, and I'm choosing not to believe that he doesn't have a mental illness. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Because he's being haunted by something. So until that gets cleared and, you know, they make the actual thing, then we'll figure it out. You know, my sister, she told me, no, I told you he doesn't have a mental illness. And I say, but that's being told by someone. He has to be convinced that he doesn't have a mental illness. Just like he needs to be convinced that he does have a mental illness, because he started convincing himself that is what possibly is what's going on with himself. You know what I mean? And that makes total sense. But right now, that is still left out there to be the concern. So when that comes out, that's when we'll know. If it's, like I said, so if it's all fake, then the man with the yellow eyes, is he real, right? You know, so that's where that goes with. And the final question that we have is, what is going to happen with David's sister? Are we, you know, I'm one of the people that I'm concerned. I don't fear for her life, but I fear for her to be lied to about David. That's the part that's going to concern me more. You know, we saw her, the last moment that we saw her was she was in a room after arguing about where her brother was. And the character that's going by the name The Eye, goes into the room and is about to ask her a question, and that's when the episode ended. So that's another question. Like, what's gonna happen with David's sister? What is she gonna find out? What are they gonna tell her? I'm super like on the edge with that. Like, I just love good questions, and I love it when an episode ends with like a very, very good cliffhanger, and this one did very, very good. I think that we talked way too much about Legion, episode 2, chapter 2. I think I spread enough movie awareness / TV awareness. You know, so now we're just spreading TV awareness with Legion. That's all I got, man. And can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Can't wait to see what else is going to be in store for Legion, episode 3, chapter 3. Yeah, man. You can follow me on Facebook.com / Whatthehellpcast, on Instagram.com / Whatthehellpcast, twitter.com/thehellpcast. And you can follow me on YouTube, on SoundCloud, Google Play, Podbean, Podbay. My show is in all these sites. Podcast One, they're all on there. What the hell did we just watch? And just click on that episode, listen to everything, listen to whatever you want. Got plenty of different kind of shows on there, a lot of segments on there. And this is a brand new one for Legion. We're only speaking about Legion for this one. And this should be on you every Monday. And, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my past episodes. If you are, if you haven't, what the hell is wrong with you? Listen to my episode 1 and catch up, just like a TV show. Binge it. This is Lou Motion Lou. What the hell did we just watch? And I just got one thing to say. Peace out, yo.